We want to show you a wild scene involving a commuter bus that was hijacked in Atlanta. Police chased it for miles in rush hour traffic as it ran into other vehicles. 17 people were on board and I'm sure terrified. And as Mark Strassman reports, one of them died from a gunshot wound.
Some guy shot some guy on the bus.
That account by this man's wife, who was on the bus in downtown Atlanta that had been hijacked by a gunman.
I said, I don't want him to shoot you, so just hang the phone up and I'll track you.
Police started tracking the bus too once the first 911 calls about a shooting on board came at 4:30 local time.
Hostage situation on the Gwinnett bus. PD's on scene.
When officers arrived at the scene 1 minute later, they say they saw the suspect, 39-year-old Joseph Greer, holding a gun to the bus driver's head. As they approached, the bus, with 17 people aboard, was driven from the scene in a wild, high-speed, multi-county chase, right in the middle of rush hour traffic. You can see the bus weaving in and out of traffic, crashing into several cars and around police. And here you can see the bus barreling through a police cruiser that had attempted to block its path. Watch as an officer throws a spike strip in yet another attempt to slow down the bus. Police say about 40 minutes after the chase began, the bus eventually stopped in a residential neighborhood blocked by an armored vehicle. You can see passengers exiting the bus with their hands in the air. The suspect is also led away in handcuffs. Greer, police say, is a convicted felon with a long criminal record. Police also said one person on the bus was shot and died from their injuries. Atlanta's Mayor Andre Dickens, already weary from a shooting at a downtown food court that left 3 injured earlier in the day, forced once again to address violence in his city.
Yeah, this is not the day that you sign up for. This is not the day that Atlantans nor anybody in our region wants to have happen.
What's going on, guys? I'm Steve. Welcome back to the channel. Welcome back to another video. If it's your first time stopping by the channel, hit that subscribe button. Trust me, you won't regret it. If you're the returning subscriber, as always, guys, welcome back, and I do appreciate the support. Guys, the video you just seen happened yesterday in Atlanta. Shout out ATL. And it was a scary scene where a guy that was mentally ill, who goes by the name of Joseph Greer, age 39, hijacked the bus, a Gwinnett County transit bus, I guess, and ordered the bus driver to drive, like you heard, resulting in one person losing their life and 17 people aboard the bus in absolute peril and terror, suspended terror. I'm going to show you this video. The reason why I'm doing this video now is I want to wait for more details to come out. And I'm going to show you what the family had said a little bit to give you some insight of what made Mr. Greer do what he did. When I first seen this video, I was like, man, this is craziness. When I go in on people. But man, when people are having serious mental lapses, man, sometimes you got to just be like, man, I mean, he's still responsible for what he is, but what he did. But man, just take a look at this and what the family says. Mental illness is not just a struggle between the person that's, going through said illness, but the people around this person that want to see them do the right thing and want to see them well, or as well as they can be, to have a normal life. This is crushing for this family. Take a look, y'all.
Police say 39-year-old Joseph Greer shot and killed another passenger on board the Gwinnett County Transit bus and ordered the driver to take off. Good evening. Thanks so much for joining us. I'm Tom Haynes.
I'm Courtney Bryant. The chase barreled down roads throughout Atlanta, DeKalb County and Gwinnett County before ending just east of Tucker. Fox 5's Brittany Edney joins us live in Gwinnett County, and Brittany just talked exclusively to Greer's family about what happened. Brittany?
Yeah, Courtney, one of Greer's family members shared with me his long-term struggle with mental illness. She reveals that recently, though, he's had a lot of behaviors that haven't seemed normal. She says that he has acted erratically and that they have tried to get him help. Police have arrested 39-year-old Joseph Greer in connection to the fatal shooting inside the hijacked Gwinnett County transit bus.
My God. Lord have mercy, it's Joseph.
I sat down with a family member who described the moment his father turned on the news.
And he looked at it and he just bust out crying.
Investigators say Greer has been arrested 19 times, something his family attributes to his longtime struggle with mental illness.
They know that he's schizo and bipolar and manic. They know that part about him. What triggers him, I don't know.
In the hours leading up to the bus hijacking, she says Greer's father tried to get him to come home and get rest. They were worried about him since he recently lost his job, but ultimately, Greer rejected that intervention.
Like if he don't take his medication, if he don't sleep for a period of time, he starts babbling. I mean, we know that he's getting ready to go off on the deep end, and you can't stop him. Because he won't lay down, he won't sleep.
This video shows the 39-year-old at the scene of the Peachtree Center shooting downtown Tuesday. Investigators say the incidents are unrelated, but shortly afterwards, Greer got on the bus. A high-speed chase and shooting that took the life of Ernest Byrd Jr.
My heart goes out to the other family, but it could have been so much worse. I mean, because there were 17 people on that bus. Suppose all of them got shot or killed. You know, I don't know what his mental state was about.
A lot of families reeling from this very violent and horrifying experience. Of course, the family of the victim who was shot and killed, Ernest Byrd Jr. Police say he was shot and killed with his own gun after he got into a confrontation with Greer on the bus.
Yeah, Brittany, we all couldn't believe what we were witnessing when this was all unfolding yesterday. You've been on this story all day long, and you also spoke exclusively with the wife of that bus driver.
Yeah, Tom, Ernst Antoine, is the name of the man who was behind the wheel during that high-speed, very terrifying chase that ensued across multiple jurisdictions with police. I spoke with his wife of 32 years who described him as a family man, a man of God. She says that he is also a pastor and does a lot of work here in the community and gives back as much as he can. She says when she caught up with him at the hospital, he revealed what some of those experiences were like inside the bus. He told her that at one point a gun was pointed at his head and he was commanded to, quote, keep driving. And at another point, he told her that the gun was wedged tightly against his leg as that high-speed chase with police ensured. She says that even with his life on the line, though, he focused on swerving and also, of course, doing quick maneuvers with that giant bus to try and avoid cars on the road.
He was ready to die, but he wants the people in the bus to be saved. And also he was doing all those shaving because he doesn't want to hurt anybody on the street, those cars. So it touched my heart.
Coming up in the next hour, we'll have more details on how he is doing just ahead. Reporting live in Gwinnett County, Brittany Edney, Fox 5 News.
Yeah, you really got to admire the heroic actions of that driver.
Yeah, and police officials speaking yesterday on this actually referred to him as a hero. I think it was Atlanta Mayor Andre Dickens who said that about him, and probably got that right based on what we're finding out now. Brittany, thanks for the details.
Within the last hour, we've gotten new information about the prosecution of this case. In a letter sent to the state prosecuting attorney general's counsel, District Attorney Fani Willis says that she cannot prosecute the case because one of the victims / witnesses in the case is a current employee of the district attorney's office. The DA writes that results in a conflict of interest for her office.
That's the story, man, about this guy, Joseph Greer, and the victim, Ernest Byrd Jr., man, may he rest in peace. They said he was killed with his own gun because they got to a tussle. I guess he got the gun from him. All hell broke loose. But either way, man, a lot of people hurt. A lot of people lucky to be alive. This guy had this bus driver going in and out of traffic. Don't stop the bus. They throw in spike strips, just hysteria and just craziness all over. I can't imagine the fear and terror those people was under, the pressure, being on that bus with a madman. Now, the family said some serious things. They said he suffered from bipolar, schizophrenia, and I guess manic depression. Those are serious ailments. Said he wouldn't take his medication. Family tried to help him. Father tried to talk sense into him. He wouldn't sleep. You know what I'm saying? They said he get into these things and he just go off the deep end. You never know what he's going to do. That's scary. It is. How many stories have we covered on this channel, guys, of people doing some of the most vilest stuff when they're not in their right mind? I don't even know how you fix this type of thing when the person won't take the medication themselves and they know they need it, and it's vital for them to have a halfway decent existence and leveling themselves out to where they have some control over their life. One person dead, 17 people on a bus. I know some of them was injured. When I first heard this story, I'm like, yo, man, who took a bus? But I mean, going down the street now, you never know. My apologies. My mic died for a second. I had to reset up my equipment. But anyway, you never know who's in their right mind or not, guys. You don't. People can look sane or just look excited or just be a little bit odd. And it could be normal people, but sometimes it's a dice roll when you say hello to somebody and carry a conversation with them out there in the outside world. There's so much mental illness out here now. People that take statistics and all this other stuff, they got to see us arrive, and it's something causing it. We'll see what happens with it. But before I get out of here, man, I wanted to mention something real quick. This guy was interviewed before, 40 minutes before he went and did that. Supposedly, he was standing there talking with the shooter in the quadruple shooting in the mall when my man started acting a fool. Did it trigger him to do this? I don't know. What I do know is 17 people scared out of their mind. One person lost their life, and his family is victims as well. And I want to say this in closing real quick. Said he wouldn't take his meds, wouldn't sleep, suffered from all of these different mental illnesses. Guys, man, you got to take this stuff serious. And a lot of you people have members of your family that are like this. You want to give people their own independence, and you have to treat them like men or women because they are such. But it's only so much of a burden you can put on yourself and guilt you can put on yourself. And that's real. You know what I mean? People are going to do what they're going to do regardless. Some people are on a speeding train to nowhere, sometimes a brick wall. And no matter how much time, patience, love, and support you give them, a lot of them want to proceed to oblivion. Sometimes it's not your fault. We got to really be honest. Sometimes it's easy to just tear somebody apart on these videos, us as content creators do when talking about a crime. But we also got to be cognizant sometimes that there are people that really cared about this person and wanted the best for them and tried to do the right thing. And it wasn't enough. I just wanted to say that before I get out of here. I'm Stock Market Steve for the Dynamic Reason channel. As always, like, comment, share, and subscribe. Check out this video on your way out. Thanks for listening.
Right now at noon, we've confirmed the bus hijacking suspect was also at the scene of that quadruple shooting yesterday at Peachtree Center downtown as a witness. As customers were leaving Peachtree Center after the shooting, our crew spoke with multiple witnesses, including this man, who we now know is Joseph Greer. We also now know he is currently in custody in the bus killing. Now, this interview was about 40 minutes before the Gwinnett Transit bus was hijacked several blocks away. In a conversation with our photojournalist, Greer claimed he had talked with the suspected Peachtree Center gunman moments before shots rang out in the food court.
This talking crazy, and then the cop talked to him and he ran. That's when the whole
Well, about 30 minutes after that conversation you just heard, the GBI says Greer was one of the passengers who got on the Gwinnett Transit bus.